Good evening, viewers. You're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Choudhry. It's language wars yet again, the imposition versus integration debate. Well, what sparked it this time around? Well, the committee, the Parliamentary Committee on Languages, headed by the Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah, has recommended that Hindi be the medium of instructions in IITs and IIMs. Clearly, not gone down too well with many states. Here's more.
The Hindi imposition debate is back this time, triggered by a governmental panel report. Sparking outrage in all South states, the Amit Shah-led committee has recommended the use of Hindi as the medium of instruction in Hindi-speaking states and local regional languages in other states. The report recommends that Hindi be the medium of instruction in IIT, IIM and central universities. And as expected, almost all political leaders in the South are up in arms, saying this is an attempt to impose one nation, one language, one religion, one food and one culture. In Tamil Nadu, the DMK has lashed out at the central government, with even Chief Minister M.K. Stalin leading the charge with a series of tweets. He also shot off a letter to Prime Minister Modi, warning not to trigger another language war.
We are Tamils. We have a language of our own, and our language, the state was carved from the Dravidian land as a Tamil state. Why should you impose Hindi on us? We are not in UP, we are not in MP, we are not in Bihar.
In order to hide their inability to run the government, the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Mr. M.K. Stalin, has been levelling unnecessary and unwanted allegations against the central government and also this committee.
Meanwhile, in battleground Karnataka, the Congress and JDS have lashed out at the BJP.
You cannot enforce that language on us. We have our own languages, the southern states, which are classical languages. What does the term classical tag mean? It means that they have been in existence for over 2000 years. We have our own script, we have our own history, we have our own culture, and that needs to be preserved too. So what is the Prime Minister, why the duplicity in Prime Minister's Mann Ki Baat when he says that you should encourage local language and all that, but when the gazette comes out, when the notifications come out, it's about Hindi imposition. We will not allow this.
The Bombay government, however, has categorically stated that there is no question of changing the medium of instruction in universities as of now.
ಎಲ್ಲೂ ನೋಡಿ ಕಡ್ಡಾಯವಾಗಿ ಹಿಂದಿ ಏರಿಕೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಉದ್ಭವ ಆಗಿರೋ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವೇ ಕಲ್ಪನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಬೇಡ. ಸೊ ಅಂಥದ್ದು ಯಾವುದೂ ಇರೋಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವ ನಾಡಿನ ಮೇಲೂ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಇರೋವಂಥದ್ದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹಿಂದಿ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎ ಅಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಅನವಶ್ಯಕವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾತಾಡೋಂಥದ್ದು ಬೇಡ.
The outrage isn't limited to just Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Kerala CM Pinarayi Vijayan wrote a letter to Prime Minister Modi asking him to intervene in the matter. In Telangana, Minister K.T. Rama Rao took to social media to reiterate that India does not have a national language. The language showdown has kicked off a political storm in southern states, with regional parties uniting against the BJP and making it clear that any decision to put in effect the committee's Hindi recommendations will be met with protests. Bureau Report, India Today.
Because political, social, the great linguistic divide is on fire yet again. Imposition versus integration. Let's take it to our panelists this evening. Tom Vadakan, spokesperson, Bharatiya Janata Party, joins us. A. Sarvana, spokesperson, DMK. Said Aslam, leader, JDS. Mr. Vadakan, I'd like to begin with you, and I'd like to quote, there are various quotes which have come at the back of the Parliamentary Committee report. Number one, the reaction to it is, do not instigate the fire, call the mother tongue sentiment. This is what Chief Minister Tamil Nadu, Mr. Stalin, has said. Most states and many leaders, including your own BJP leaders in the state of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, have come out and said that it is wrong, that one nation, one language theory is wrong, and the Parliamentary Committee report seems to be pointing towards that direction.
Preeti, I wish everybody had read that report. It's basically a recommendation. Let's understand that. It is not carved in stone that such a narrative is being built, you know, from the southern sector. I mean, this is like hiring a cost. Anytime you have a diversionary tactics, you're failing in your governance, you immediately switch off and switch on to an issue which is ready and ripe. And now this is a report submitted to the president, which is a recommendation, and I wish people do read it. What is it about? There's emphasis is on regional languages. Wherever regional language is required, there has to be the regional language. There is no confusion about it. But no, nobody wants to read that. Hindi imposition, can you stop Hindi being taught in Uttar Pradesh, or you want Tamil to be taught there? No, it's not possible. So you have Hindi states where Hindi is taught. You have Madhya Pradesh. You were speaking to the Home Minister a few minutes back in Hindi and on an English channel. Language is, Preeti, about communication and not creating a war. I absolutely differ with this conclusion that there's a war going on. These are narratives which are hired from time to time, and well, a channel like yours which communicates in English and Hindi, and well, I suppose come into Tamil also in some short time. If it happens, well and good. But the reality is, communication has been in these two languages for some time in the Hindi belt. Tamil in Tamil Nadu, Telugu in Andhra Pradesh. But I would like to point about Kumaraswamy's statement. Very strange, you know. He says you can't impose Hinduism and Hindi. Now look at this connect. Where is he linking? It is the issue is about Hindi, and now he's brought Hinduism to it. The point is, where are these gentlemen going to? Politics doesn't mean you come and dig your own grave in this country.
Right. Mr. Vadakan, yes, make your point, sir. Finish.
No, I'm saying we are a country which has diversity, and the Prime Minister himself, when he comes to Tamil Nadu, tries to speak in Tamil. How many of the Dravidian leaders come to Delhi and speak in Hindi?
Mr. Vadakan, I'd like to bring in Mr. Sarvana, but I want to ask you, one quick rebuttal question. When the Prime Minister goes to Tamil Nadu, sir, he doesn't speak in Tamil, he speaks in English. Because the link language seems to be English other than Hindi. And he's always spoken in English when he comes to Tamil Nadu. So I want to ask you, sir, hear me out. So I want to ask you, and the question is, when the panel recommends Hindi as the medium of instructions to IITs and IIMs, why can't that be English? Because your link language is English.
Preeti, is it possible? I mean, let's be realistic. That suddenly IITs will all turn into Hindi medium. These are recommendations. These are dotted lines which have to be joined together. This is going to take our generation 10 generations away. If it's possible, well and good, wish them best. But you think institutions like IIT and IIM and other institutions will switch overnight? Doesn't happen. But yes, you have a political cause. You can stand up, take a flag and say, well, no Hindi wala coming down south and no Tamilian coming this side. This is our country, Preeti. We can't have these, walls built up. These are attitudes. These are political consequences that they are addressing. It doesn't work that way.
Okay. Mr. Sarvana, Mr. Aslam, I know you want to come in. Just give me a minute. I'll just bring in Mr. Sarvana into this conversation. Mr. Sarvana, the question that is being raised by the BJP is that you're trying to stoke regional identity fire. These are mere recommendations, nothing more.
Yeah, Preeti, you are right on target. When you said, what about English as a link language? The crux of the issue is this. The BJP is trying to do away with English, because English is the link language. They want to bring, this fear stems not just from these recommendations alone. We have to see what Mr. Amit Shah had spoken a few months back. He said India has the capacity, the wherewithal to link all the entire states. People, when they are communicating with each other within the country, they should use Hindi. In a pluralistic society like us, that cannot be possible. English is the insurance policy. English is the bulwark which is protecting the pluralism and the multiculturalism of our country. English is also a great leveler. When they are saying, please do away with English, what they mean is, bring in Hindi. This is what we call as Hindi imposition. Mr. Vadakan is poo-pooing it, saying that this is just a recommendation. If it doesn't matter anything, if it is not going to happen, what's the fun investing everybody's money and making these recommendations? These recommendations should not have come This recommendation itself is against the pluralistic nature. This is against the federalism. This language debate has been settled long back. 70 years back this has been settled, when there was the solemn promise made by the union government that we will not do away with the English as a linked language. Now every step the BJP is taking all the efforts, all the steps to do away with English. They are giving it a colonial tag, forgetting that India has become a superpower in economic might. We have become forced to reckon also because on one, the important aspect being that we are proficient in English. English has done as well. And without augmenting the capacity of the regional languages, take Hindi. Can anyone become a doctor? Can anyone become an engineer? Can anyone become a software professional by just studying Hindi? It is not possible. For that matter, any regional language. All the regional languages, none of the regional languages have that capacity. So English is the only way which caters the aspirations of the people who are well qualified. So when that is the situation, where is this need? Why do you want to belittle English by saying it is a colonial thing? We are taking pride, but do we have? See, there is the next question. Oh, why don't you develop all the regional languages? Yes, we want to do that. We'll be very happy if something of that sort happens. When someone becomes a doctor by studying in Tamil, but as the union government spending that kind of money, they collect taxes from people who speak Kannada, Malayalam, Telugu, Tamil, but is the money devolved in the same priority? No. Is the money spent in the same priority as the money that is collected from these people? Hindi is given big push. They are spending around 60 to 80 crores every year for promoting Hindi across the country, 600 crores for Sanskrit, $800,000 for promotion of Hindi in the United Nations. But what is the kind of money that is spent for promoting these classical languages?
Okay.
Is it same? Is it the same amount? So this is why we are saying Hindi is being imposed, it is being shoved down our throats. And also name any one scheme of the union government that has used any other language other than Hindi, as though it is only the Hindi people that are living in the country. When it is funded by the entire country, everybody is paying GST. We are every single Indian is contributing to the growth of this nation, but the union government, which is a Hindi majoritarian party, is pandering only to the Hindi-speaking population. That is our grouse. That is why whenever such measures
Mr. Sarvana, stay with me. We are going to get somebody to fix your connection as well. You know, it's sketchy. We are going to get them to fix your connection, but stay with me. I will bring in Saeed Aslam as well, leader JDS spokesperson. Mr. Aslam, the fact is the BJP now alleges that a party like yours, the JDS, is trying to link an linguistic issue, a language issue, with a communal issue, when you link both Hindi and Hinduism together.
Well, Preeti, we all need to understand there is a deliberate attempt by the central government, the BJP government, to impose Hindi. We are not against Hindi, we are against the imposition of Hindi. Now, when I say imposition, the recommendation, the so-called recommendation which Mr. Vadakkan is calling it as a recommendation, I hope it remains as a recommendation, doesn't get implemented. Even this recommendation is called as imposition of Hindi. We have the classical languages in South, be it Tamil, Kannada and Telugu, and these have been the oldest languages which are spoken in the country. It has rich culture and heritage. The imposition of Hindi is a deliberate attempt against the integrity of our nation. It is against the ethos of our of our nation. We are culturally rich, right? And these languages have to be promoted. By imposing Hindi, what is the BJP government trying to impose, right? How can the medium of communication be Hindi in IIM, IIT and the central universities, right? What are we trying to do? We are going to the age-old methods of communication. English, like you said, English has been a link language and it has been universally and across the world it is accepted. By imposing Hindi, we are not bringing the country together. It works against the concept of unity in diversity. In the 8th schedule of Constitution, let us not forget, in the 8th schedule of Constitution, 22 languages are given equal rights.
Right.
Does the Union Minister, the Home Minister, forget with this recommendation? There is equal importance which has to be given to all languages. They are trying to appease the Hindi heartland. Preeti, let me make it very clear. Tam Vadakanji said that the diversity tactics. You are absolutely right, sir. Your central government, the BJP government, is trying to use the diversity tactics to appease the Hindi heartland. We are the 3 states in the south are the maximum tax-paying states. We contribute to the maximum tax which is paid in India. You are utilizing the tax amount which is paid in the southern states and you want to promote Hindi. That is absolutely
I want to bring in Mr.
unacceptable.
Vadakan back into this conversation. He's heard both of you out very patiently. Mr. Vadakan, the fact is, if it's just a mere recommendation, why stoke, passions which are already so raw when it comes to the linguistic divide? What's the point when the recommendation also says it's recommended to remove English from competitive exams for central government posts? You know, the fact is, if you actually break up in terms of percentage, just about 40% of this country speaks Hindi, sir.
Preeti, my contention, I repeat, nobody has read this report. It is what we hear, some stories that are picked up by reports, and nobody has read the end to end. That is one. I wish they had read it before coming to an argument. It is nobody's case, like Mr. Sarvanam argued, that English is being replaced. We are now talking in English. Let us accept it. Mr. Sarvanam, I was very impressed with his eloquence on English. Where is the question of English being removed? Yes, we need our regional languages as well. Now, if in Uttar Pradesh there's an exam held, it should be also in Hindi. If it is being held in Tamil Nadu, it has to be in a regional language, and that exercise is there in the civil service. It's already started, where you can answer your paper in Tamil. And if this exercise is going on, well, Uttar Pradesh has its own value. They have Hindi. Okay, accept it. If Tamil Nadu, you come into Tamil Nadu, you have Tamil. We accept it. Point here is, where is the war? The point is, we as Indians are creating wars without any reason. This pluralistic society of ours has different cultures. Now, you asked the gentleman from Karnataka about Hindi and the communal aspect. He did not answer that. He stepped aside. He did not talk about Mr. Kumaraswamy's reference of Hinduism and Hindi. I forgive him for that. But at the same time, let us remember that when we take up a cause, keep the national interest in mind. Keep your national interest. Nobody is imposing any language on anybody. Tamil will have its place. It's a classical language. It's gone to the UN. There are big speeches in Tamil. And Kannada, I went for a press conference. They boycotted my press conference because it was in English. And then I said, what language do I speak? I remember this was during the CAA meet. This was the press club in Bangalore. I mean, it can happen to you. When I go to speak I will speak in English. They say, no, you speak in Kannada. What do? I come from Delhi. I can speak Malayalam. I can speak Tamil. But, well, you know, you want me to learn Kannada in such short notice.
Right. Mrs. Sarvana, the fact is, you need this linguistic divide to fuel your regional linguistic politics is also a charge which many political analysts make. You need it to oxygenate what your entire politics rests on.
Preeti, see, if we are unilaterally taking up this issue, making a big thing out of it, then these allegations may sound maybe something compatible. But we are merely reacting to what the central government, the union government is doing. We are not creating anything out of thin air. I have pointed out several instances. Do they have any answer? Why so much only for Hindi? I asked a pertinent question. Why only Hindi names are used in the central government schemes? Why can't you divide? Why can't you give it out of rotation? Like a cyclone. Every country gets to name a cyclone. Why can't every regional language be used to name the scheme of the Prime Minister? This is one instance. You put a very, very pertinent question. What about competitive exams? That is where Hindi is imposed. Recently, few days back, Staff Selection Commission, CGL examinations were being conducted only in English and Hindi. The regional language was left out. So, if you know Hindi alone, you can write that examination. If I know Tamil alone, or if someone from Karnataka knows Kannada alone, they are left out. They cannot attend. They cannot aspire to join the central government. This is what we call as Hindi imposition. Not only in SSC, several examinations, wherever it is pointed out to us, our leader, Mr. M.K. Stalin, has pointed out written letters. We have protested.
Right.
Some we were able to rectify, but many we were not able to. This imposition we oppose. This unfair spending of funds we oppose. This is imposition.
Okay, Mr. Vadakan, I know you want to come in, and Mr. Aslam, I know you want to come in. I've run terribly out of time, but trust me, I will have you back on the show again because the debate will continue, especially in days to come. Thank you, all three gentlemen, for joining us.